far as Saturday goes, first 5 offensive possessions are 3 and out. Is there something you can pinpoint that's led to the offensive struggles out of the gate in the past, I think, 3 games, basically?
Yeah, well, obviously, lack of execution is the number one thing. And the thing about it that was alarming and frustrating was if it was always the same position or same guy, then you know where to go, and maybe you try to replace them if you have anybody else. But that wasn't the case. And you had some older guys making some critical errors that you would never expect to happen. And what starts happening is when you start struggling, then all of a sudden guys want to start worrying about what other guys are doing and trying to do more than just your job. And then all of a sudden you screw up your job. You have to be focused on what you do, and you handle your business and trust the guy next to you is going to do his job. And so that was part of the issue. And that's that whole, I'll say this, the first third down, thought process was to try to hit him with a naked, right? And to be honest, they gave a look that they hadn't seen, and they were able to cover the guy up. So you got to give it up to them there. You have a next series, you got a deep ball, it's going to be wide open, and protectionally, the guy in the backfield is supposed to pick it up, and he didn't do his job. Next thing you know, Surratt sacked. So ultimately, it's on us, right? If they don't do their job and they don't perform well, it goes right back to us. So we as coaches have to find a way to get it corrected and get these guys to be able to do their job every snap.
Is there something tangible that you can do like this week in preparation to get those things corrected?
You work hard every day and practice every day, and you meet every day to fix as many. That's what you practice for, right? If you make a mistake, you correct it. And so we're changing a few things we do at practice to make it more of a mental exercise than necessarily some of the physical things, just to make sure these guys are doing things exactly right. The thing that's funny, that play I told you about that was the sack, we ran that same play with that same blitz on Thursday, and it was picked up, no issues. So that just goes to tell you, and you get in the game situation, you start overthinking things, you blow a gasket. So that's what we're doing. We're just making sure that we're going to just go above and beyond with the mental aspect of it, and whatever that takes. Before practice, after practice, we're going to find a way to fix it.
How much do you guys work on package with the quarterback directly under center, which maybe would have been an option in that situation that you just described?
We work it every day. We do CQ exchange, and then when we do our short yardage goal line days, we always do under center. And if you look at it, we were backed up at ODU. We got under center and ran power and had success. The thought process on that one was to take a shot. And, kind of like we did when we were not quite as backed up, but we were back there against Duke and hit a big play and we were going down and score. Didn't complete it. We didn't have that personnel out there. Thought it was going to be a safe play, and it ended up not working out. So on us, that's on us.
In hindsight, we look back at that, and then some of the safeties you guys have had the last 2 years, they've been shotgun situations in the end zone, a screen play, a jet sweep. In hindsight, you look back and say maybe we just line up under center, power forward, get the thing out of there safely, and can avoid some of those disasters?
Yeah, the jet sweep, we're on a 6-yard line, so I didn't, you don't consider that backed up. But obviously the screen situation and that situation tells you to do that for sure.
How would you grade your O-line's performance on Saturday?
Spotty at best. I had a few guys that played really well, and you had some guys that you really are counting on that as the game wore on started making some mistakes that were uncharacteristic. And again, whether it's just overthinking or trying to make up for other things, you had a couple seniors that did some things that were uncharacteristic, and so those are the things. You can have 10 great plays, but you make one bad play, that can stop a drive. And that's the thing that as an offensive lineman, you got to be consistent every snap.
What's challenging for these young receivers? What are some nuances in this offense that are challenging for maybe a guy like Bo or Daz or even some of the younger guys to kind of grasp?
Well, it's not having the reps and experience, and you practice for 3-4 days and you try to give them every look you possibly can, but then all of a sudden they do something you hadn't seen, or they give you a look that you hadn't worked on, and then a veteran guy knows how to handle that. But some of these guys that have never either been with us before or had reps before, they don't know how to adjust, and some of that's just lack of reps, lack of experience, and so that's where it's just sometimes there's growing pains, and it's freaking painful, but that's the part of the deal. And that's why when we do have positive situations and we have opportunities at big plays, which we did, and you don't capitalize, it crushes you. You know, you look at the first half, we had 7 explosive plays. And we had 4 in the one drive. We go down there and then we turn it over at the, whatever it was, 16 or 17. So you had some things going this Saturday that were a hell of a lot better than the week before. But then you turn it over, right? And then you have a couple bonehead mistakes. So it's still consistency. That's really all it is. You have to convert some third downs to be able to continue drives and have plays.
Back to the line, there's been so much attrition and guys in 1 week, out the next week. Has this group that started the last couple weeks been together enough to develop some kind of chemistry, or is that still something that's a work in progress?
It's a work in progress. You know, in the end, there's no excuses. You got to get it done. But it's still, you know, again, you would love to have guys for a whole spring ball, whole fall camp, and now you'd feel good. But you have some guys that you know, been hurt, that been out. Some guys that just joined us in the summer. A guy that missed fall camp, you know. So, again, no excuses. We got to get it done, but it's not where you want it to be.
I asked you a couple weeks ago about some of the freshmen. You said a couple were traveling with you, and you would only use them in emergency situations. Do you have a couple of guys there that might be able to help you, but you just don't want to take that red shirt off and get kind of looking more toward the future with them? You're going to deal with what you have right now?
That's if what I have right now couldn't get it done, just plain and simple couldn't get it done, then you would move forward. But if the freshman is not going to upgrade you, then there's no reason to burn that year for them. You know, now let's just get them as many reps as we can in practice and get them the experience, and then they're ready to go the next year. You know, so if I felt like that freshman was better than somebody we had on the field right now, then I would play him for sure. But that's not the case. And so you got to have them ready, though, because we still got a half a season, and you don't know who might go down or what might happen.
Back check in today.